Welcome to ASportsZones, hub to sports world news. Update on NBA Finals between Golden State Warriors against Toronto Raptors Game 1 preview. Side story about Kawhi Leonard, sad memories that's shaped him to motivate. Kawhi Leonard is widely regarded as one of the best basketball players on the planet, and he just used his sheer dominance to lead his Toronto Raptors to its first ever NBA Finals. Please subscribe in our YouTube channel and follow and like us on Facebook #ASportsZones. Visit our site at www.ASportsZones.com for more sports update. When you think about Leonard and what he's known for, a few things come to mind: his defense, his giant hands, and the ability to get to whatever spot he wants on the offensive end. There's one trait, however, that stands out from the pack: his quiet demeanor. Leonard is perhaps the most reserved superstar the NBA has ever seen, even more so than his former teammate Tim Duncan. And you have to delve all the way back to his childhood to understand how his low-key nature became a trademark, and why it's so heartbreaking. Leonard's main sport growing up was actually football, something that was driven into him by his father, Mark Leonard. By the time his sophomore year of high school came around, basketball became the only focus for Leonard. While attending school, Leonard would work with his father at the family's hand car wash, often putting together 10-hour shifts. Working together was a way for the pair to bond, spending long hours with one another, and that was on top of the times they spent playing basketball. Unfortunately, it was that car wash that holds one of Kawhi Leonard's worst memories. In January of 2008, Mark Leonard was shot and killed while working at the Compton, California car wash. According to ESPN, he was trying to get off work early so he could see his son in a game that evening. Instead, he was shot to death, with the killer still yet to be found. Immediately after his father's death, a 16-year-old Leonard's world spiraled, as you would expect it to. Still, the day after he found out that he lost his father, Leonard played in a game for his Riverside King team, scoring 17 points in a 68-60 loss to Compton Dominguez. After the loss, Leonard fell into his mother's arms and broke down in tears. According to the LA Times, he had only learned about his father's death 24 hours earlier. "Basketball is my life, and I wanted to go out there and take my mind off it," Leonard told the Times. "It was real sad. My father was supposed to be at the game." Someone who was in the crowd for that game was Denzel Washington, who told the Bill Simmons podcast about what it was like to be in that arena, though he displayed some shoddy memory when recounting the event. "My son had a game and there was a second game, and it was a school called King Riverside that was playing a team, I think from Atlanta, and I remember because that night they said, 'There's a young man who's playing tonight whose father had been killed,'" Washington said. "We had a moment of silence for him, and the kid's name was Kawhi Leonard, and he had about 29 points and 27 rebounds, and I figured, wow, this kid is inspired by losing his dad. And what a game. And no one knew, oh no, he'll be able to do that for the next 20 years. At the time of his father's murder, Leonard was known as a three-point shooter, but his range took a sharp hit for the first half of 2008. "He's a great shooter," Leonard's coach Tim Sweeney said. "He was shooting 45% from three-point range until his father was killed. He's been trying to get his game back. That's what has come back during the playoffs. He's elevated his game back to where it was. In what was an unbelievably emotional time, Leonard's response to his father's death was somewhat cerebral. "Basketball helps me take my mind off things, picking me up every day when I'm feeling down," Leonard said at the time. It's a sign of the tough upbringing Leonard had, working hard with his father at their car wash, while living in a rough area in Compton. 2 months after his father's death, Leonard helped his high school team to their playoffs, booking a place in the final against Dominguez, the team he went up against right after that fateful day. He'd be very proud, Leonard said of his late father, before that final. "I try to play as hard as I can each night. That's what my father wanted me to do." Leonard eventually became one of the best players in the NBA, with a case as the best, winning a Finals MVP trophy in 2014, and only getting better from there. It was Father's Day when the San Antonio Spurs clinched that title, with Leonard walking away with the top individual prize. "It's a very special meaning for me, knowing that he's gone and I was able to win a championship on Father's Day," Leonard said at the time, according to ESPN. "But I mean, I'm just happy just winning the championship. Like I told you all, my dad died 6 years ago, and I really wasn't thinking about him that much." That quote just about sums Leonard up. He has the talent to succeed and understands how to cherish each moment, even if he doesn't quite know how to show it. If you have any comments or suggestion, feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe in our YouTube channel and follow and like us on Facebook #ASportsZones. For more sports update, visit our site at www.ASportsZones.com. Do not forget to click the